and I've always stressed communication is the most important thing to me. Reading, writing, knowing his ABCs and his numbers doesn't take precedence for me.
No, I hear you.
It's communication.
Right.
He needs to be able to let people know, this is what I need. This is why I'm frustrated.
Yeah, you have to kind of give up the expectations of a typical child as far as what they're learning in school and figure out what the education system can do to help most in where you are. It sounds like you're doing a really good job of that.
That's exactly it.
Yeah, you have to kind of give up that reading, writing, and yeah.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. And I've always stressed that, that is not important to me. This child, in order to be successful, needs to be able to communicate with people that are not me.
Mm-hmm.
I know what he wants. I know when he's in a complete, tizzy trying to find a toy. I know what he's looking for because I spend 24/7 with him, whereas somebody just coming in would have no idea why he's having a meltdown.
And that's going to be the challenge for him, to be able to communicate with others.
Right?
Yep. And so
yes,
the more tuned in you are, the better you can teach the educators, I gather.
Exactly.
And I'm sure finding the right, I know it's hard with school because, not everybody clicks with your kid. And some people definitely don't click. So,
no.
How's it been overall with where he is now as far as, just give me a little narration of.
So he started the school he's at in grade 1. He started off with one teacher. She was pregnant. She went on mat leave. So she only lasted about 4 months. After that, we got his teacher that we had up until June of this year. She was totally in tune with him. She knew exactly what he wanted. And at school, they used the PEC system with him because we found that is what works for him. That is what he's successful at. So that is what we're going to continue to do. However, she was let go in June, and now September rolls around, and we've got a totally different teacher who, while she has experience in special needs, her experience is with junior high kids, so kids who are in grades 7, 8, 9, not kids who are in grades 8 and below.
Oh boy, that's a totally different dynamic.
Her expectations are high, and while I appreciate that she has high expectations, it's almost like setting them up to fail.
Yeah.
Because they can't reach those expectations.
It needs to be broken down into place so he can feel some sense of accomplishment and, baby steps.
Like
absolutely.
You've got to start low and just kind of, okay, this is where we're at, and not set the bar so high that, well, I know what they're going to need when they get into middle school. Well, you know what? That's great.
Yeah.
But that's not where we are.
Right.
You're talking about a child who is physically 9.5, but he's cognitively, say, 2. Like, you've got to...
I think it's hard to understand that if you haven't, experienced it or been around a child that is, that was even hard for me at certain points when my, a therapist would say, okay, your son's functioning at this cognitive level. I had a little bit of denial. I had to actually, go and try to communicate with him at the level that he was at, and it really opened up windows and doors for him when I was able to do that. But that was hard. And, here you're doing it from the beginning. So.
And having a nonverbal child, I know I had somebody tell me somewhere near the beginning. So keep your language simple
Mm-hmm.
and narrate your day.
So as you're going about your day?
As I go about my day, I'm talking to him like he understands me. And I'm talking to him like I'm doing whatever I need to do, but I'm talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do the dishes. I'm going to wash the dishes. And now I'm going to put them in the dishwasher, and I'm going to turn the dishwasher on. And now I'm going to give you some breakfast. Here's some cereal, and here's your juice. Here is your cup. Here's your, let's get you dressed. I'm going to change your diaper. Let's come over here. You're going to lie down. Now we're going to put your socks on. Now we're putting your pants on. And that's what we still do.
Mm-hmm.
I
Makes
still
sense.
in the morning wake him up, and I'll say, you have school today, so you need to get ready. So now you're going to eat your breakfast. Here's your whatever. Do you want some fruit? And usually if I show him whatever fruit I have, he'll either push it away or he doesn't even say anything or do anything. He'll just go sit at the table.
Uh-huh.
So if he agrees with whatever I have, he'll just go sit at the table. And I know, okay, so this is okay with you, and this is what you're going to eat.
Hmm.
But if he doesn't want it, he'll push it away, and I'll, pick something else. How about this? And he either pushes it away, or by agreeing, he just goes and sits at the table, and I'll get it ready, and here you go. Or he stands at the counter and waits for me, and he'll take his plate or his bowl and take it to the table. Same with bath time. Bath time now, if I say, are you ready for a bath? He runs to the bathroom. He'll turn on the light. He'll look in the little toy bin we have, and he'll find something to play with in the bath or whatever. He'll attempt to take his cars in the bath, and either I say, no, that can't go in, or sure.
Depending on your patience level, right?
Well, that too, right? I mean, if it's a huge toy and it takes batteries, kind of like, yeah, no, that can't go in the bathtub. And he now knows that, oh, okay, I can't take this one, but if I take something else, maybe smaller, maybe not, metal, it's acceptable. Or books, he's tried to take books in the bathtub before too, and on the piano.
No, that's probably not going to work.
That's not going to work.
But that requires, you to be intimately involved with him every day.
Exactly, and patience.
All day, except for when he's at school. Patience
is something I have learned that you can get mad at him, but that means nothing to him. He doesn't care if you're mad at him. It means absolutely nothing.
Huh.
He doesn't have that understanding.
Okay.
He didn't used to. Now he knows when I'm upset with him, he needs to chill out and maybe just stay in his room for 5 minutes while I chill out.
Mm-hmm.
His room is equipped with a bubble machine. We have a black light and a laser light that has light. It projects lights onto the wall. So
cool.
I can turn something like that on for him if he's having a rough day, or if I'm having a rough day and I need him to go into his room.
Mm-hmm.
He's good about he'll go in there and he'll shut his door, and, he'll stay there for 5 or 10 minutes and just play.
Excellent.
He'll take toys in there. He'll play. There you go. You need to chill out.
So you get a little break and he gets a break, and you can have some, within your home setting, you have some outlets. And that was some of that stuff was that a Make-A-Wish?
The stuff in his room is Make-A-Wish.
Make-A-Wish.
Yeah. So he's
awesome.
He's got that stuff plus a vibrating pillow. He's got a weighted blanket. He's got a huge chair that's like a beanbag chair, but it's not filled with beanbags. It's filled with foam. It's this foam that expands when it hits the air.
Oh, neat.
It's huge. It is so huge. I mean, an adult can sit in it. And
does he love it?
He will sit in it. he's not really into it right now. I bought him like a dog bed, and he likes that better.
He does?
So he'll go and, yeah, he just goes and lays on the dog bed in his room, and, you know, everything is good again.
Awesome.
And yeah, school isn't much of an issue right now. I'm kind of on the same page with his teacher. Being that she's new, she's also consistent, and she's a little strict, which is good for him.
So you focus on the positive with the teacher and work with her.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. You know, communication, let's get him using a device. Sure, I'm in for that. No problem. That's our goal, you know, and he's happy when he comes home, you know, so that to me
probably the best sign, I'd say.
Good.
Yeah.
Right. So he's not coming home. We don't have meltdowns, which exactly, it says to me, he's happy and content. Everything in his little world is good, and let's continue on with this.
Yep.
And that's pretty much, you know, it brings us to date. Doctors and whatnot are all kind of at different points.
What about, I was going to say, what about your other children? How's it been with Aaden and your family, I guess that would be?
That's a really good question, because when he was younger, my kids were identified as Aaden's brother and Aaden's sister. So his siblings are, so currently Aaden is almost 10. He's got an 18-year-old brother and a 21-year-old sister.
Okay.
So they were 8 and 11 when he was born. Tough for them because they were older. They're used to mom's attention.
Oh, yeah.
So he comes along, and all of a sudden, mom's attention is elsewhere. So kind of tough. You know, my ex-husband was working to support us, and so he was gone. And then it's kind of like all of a sudden these kids are on their own. I don't know what's going on. And their worlds are turned upside down, and oh my God, I've got a brother who is not normal.
A, not normal, and B, taking my mom's attention.
Yeah.
That's tough.
So we went through, as much as they probably wouldn't have told me they were having a rough time, I could tell they were having a rough time. When we moved in 2012. In 2013, my daughter ended up going to live with her dad because she was having a rough time with everything. She was known as Aaden's big sister. That was really tough for her because she wasn't Chloe anymore. She was Aaden's big sister.
Yeah.
And I think she had a tough time identifying as that, and had to step away and say, I want to be Chloe again because I don't like this gig.
And that you went with that and didn't, you know, I'm sure that was hard.
Didn't fight her on it. I said, okay, no problem, because I could tell she was having a rough time. I just kind of, all right, no problem. Let's do this. So she kind of left, and she would come back and, you know, stay for a month in the summer, come home at Christmas, you know, just kind of short visits where her and Aaden have a awesome bond, and they have forever, but she needed to step away from that.
Sure. And good for her for knowing that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, other issues too were going on, but primarily I think that's kind of where it was. Jacob, my middle child, had a rough time after my ex and I split. After we split, of course, it was totally, my focus was on Aaden because there wasn't a second parent in the mix. It's just me, and Jacob needed to have somebody's attention.